Welcome to the VisionOS tutorial. This is Thomas Shan. In the first episode, we talked about how to download, code, and simulate your first VisionOS app in the Xcode beta. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet. In this second episode, we're going to talk about the technical strategy of creating your VisionOS app. The first pass is to create a VisionOS app natively from day one. And the second pass would be creating an iOS app and add a VisionOS target on it, so you are able to convert it into the VisionOS platform. They're both pros and cons, and let's get started. Okay, let's try the second method first, which is how to create an iOS app and then convert it onto the VisionOS platform. This is the most interesting part and the most mysterious part for the most developers. So let's get on to it. So open the Xcode, select iOS, and select App, and click Next. Give it any name. Let's say Convert Project. And then it's interesting that because you are creating an iOS app, you are able to select either use Storyboard or Swift UI. The VisionOS app doesn't allow you to do this. The Vision app only allows you to select a Swift UI. That's the only UI framework it supports. You cannot import UIKit in the native VisionOS app. And this could be one of the most critical reasons that you want to create an iOS app and then convert it, because you are able to use a storyboard and it's convertible or say compatible to your existing apps. So let's select a storyboard and see what happens. You select a storyboard and the Swift as a language, storage none. Okay, click Next. Basically, give it any name and choose anywhere and then create it. Okay, so the project opens. And the first thing you want to look at is to click the General and then take a look at the supported destinations. Xcode is amazing that like for the same code base, it's like it compiles and it builds for all the destinations, like including iOS, iPad, Mac, and Apple Vision. And it's important for you to understand that for the Mac, there's a small text behind it saying designed for iPad, which means it's not really a native Mac app. It's rendering on the Mac screen, but everything looks like it's on iPad. Basically, you have an iPad on the MacBook screen. And by default, the Xcode give you another destination that's Apple designed for iPad. Basically, later, if you look at the simulator it runs, it's a 2D window in the space. However, the 2D window is look exactly like what the screen gonna shows on an iPad. All the styles, all the navigation styles, all the window styles, all the background is as exactly the same as on iPad. And the user would know that this is not a VisionOS native app. It's not built for this. This is only a conversion. This is by default Xcode settings. And it's important for you to understand that actually you can delete it and then add Apple Vision, not designed for iPad. Choose the Apple Vision. Okay, you select it and you say support, enable the support. And then now it says Apple Vision without the small text designed for iPad. So this is what you want. After all the compile, it's gonna be a native VisionOS app. On the one hand, it's native. On the other side, you would see there could be a lot of problems because many frameworks on the VisionOS are different than the iOS frameworks. You are not able to use cameras or GPS locations or some of the frameworks you used in iOS app. If you choose convert iOS app onto the VisionOS platforms, keep in mind there's a lot of things you need to change. But for now, our app is so simple, there's nothing inside. So let's just add a destination sphere there and try to build it, okay? And then take a look at the main storyboard. So on the main storyboard, again, this is iOS app. By default, in the storyboard, they give you an iPhone. Maybe you want to choose an iPad because the iPad screen closer, or say the ratio are closer to VisionOS. And maybe you want to select landscape mode. And from here, it's very close to the VisionOS. Let's try just add something in there. Okay, sorry, it should be label. We just add, for example, a big label in there, make it huge. Okay, put it in the middle, and say this is a iOS app on VisionOS. Okay. And from here, the good thing about the storyboard is you just make it, give it some constraints. Okay, that's it. And from here, let's try to run it in the simulator and see the style in the VisionOS, okay? Okay, let's try run it. Before we run it, we want to select the simulator to be Apple Vision Pro. This is funny, huh? Okay, let's run the Vision Pro. It will take some time for the simulators to start. Okay, so starting, let's wait. Okay, here we go. It runs, and you can see in the simulator, the window is like purely clear. It's like purely transparent. What you only see is the iOS on VisionOS text or label here. The good news is, yes, you can create iOS app and even use a storyboard. It runs on VisionOS. And a little bit bad news is the style is not identical to the VisionOS app. Like, remember the VisionOS app, it has like the glass materials on the backside of the 2D window. It's not here. So if we build the VisionOS by using the storyboard this way, we realize that in this simulator, there's no background. It's like totally transparent. So let's go back to the Xcode and see what happens. If you click the view and then open the properties, you will see the background is called system background. The system background in the VisionOS app is a totally clear background. But when it's on the iOS or on iPad, it's a white background in light mode, and it's a black background in dark mode. Yeah. So if you want to have a background on the VisionOS app, you have to select a color. Let's just select the white color here. Let's select the white color to force our VisionOS app has a background. And okay, here we go. Wait a second, where's our label? The color is default. Okay, so maybe we have to force it to use black here. Let's take another look. Our label is gone. Interesting. Okay, let's run it again. Okay, here we go. So basically, by playing this, you are understanding that on the VisionOS app, the by default system colors, the by default text colors, the by default colors are all different than it's on the iOS. And sometimes you have to select a specific color, or sometimes you have to specific another system color So you're able to render everything as you wish. And then let's make it a little bit more complicated and see what's the style of everything. Now let's put a button on it. Let's say we put a filled button on it, make it larger, make it a little bit bigger here, and add some constraint on it, make it horizontally in the center, make it wider. Okay, give it a height and give it a vertical position. Okay, let's make it a little lower in the alignment here. Let's say 150. Okay, here we go. And then maybe we want to change the bottom name as well. Let's give it to test. Okay, here we go. This is our button on the UI. And then let's run it. Remember the thing we said that like a lot of colors are different in different OS. And this is one of the things you see. In here, in the Xcode, the system button background by default is like the blue tint. On the VisionOS, it's like different. Like everything there is like gray, glass, feeling, transparency, which is actually good because when you write the same code, it runs on different styles on different platforms, and the user knows that, okay, it's native. Okay, and then the next, let's give it a little bit more function. Let's click it and then pop a window and see the window style. Is it the iOS style or VisionOS style? Let's find out where is the view controller here. And on this side, let's create an action called click. When you click the button, we'll execute this part of the code. And here we say, let's create a pop alert. The user click the button, it pops alert. It feels interesting that on the VisionOS app we're still writing UIKit functions. Let's say this is test. This is a test title. The message is we want to know the pop alert style by writing UIKit function, but running on VisionOS app, running on VisionOS. And the style is an alert. And we have to give it a button to cancel it, or say come back. The UI alert action. And the title will be back. And the style will be alert, will be canceled. And we put them together and then present it. Okay, animated too. Okay, here we go, let's run it. Simulator running, and remember to click the left button here so you're able to click it, otherwise it's not working. Okay, so here it works. This is the alert we popped. It says test with a message, and as a back button. We click the back, it goes back. And it's interesting that you realize the styles are different from iOS, right? This is native VisionOS style. You click it, set back a little bit, and a new window on the top pops up and get your attention. And you may wonder, what if in the supported destination we don't select VisionOS? We select VisionOS designed for iPad. Let's try it. So let's delete the VisionOS, native VisionOS, and add VisionOS designed for iPad. We simply just run it. Now you see the first thing you realize that is the button color is exactly the same as in your storyboard, because now the VisionOS is actually trying to simulate an iPad. Here on the iPad, the button by default color is tint blue, and this one is blue as well. So if you click the button here, the alert style will be as same as on an iPad. Remember, this is the iPad style everybody is using. Everybody is familiar with this. So that's the difference that in your project, in your general destination support, the difference between selecting Apple Vision designed for iPad or just Apple Vision natively. Try to replay everything, and you will realize how important this is, because this will decide your strategy, that you want to create a native VisionOS app, or you just want to simulate your app on the VisionOS by mimicking an iPad or iPhone. Okay, thank you so much for watching this episode. In the next episode, we're gonna build a more complicated native VisionOS app with true 3D animation. Thank you for watching.